and welcome to round 1 qualifying for Div 3 here in Monza. And it seems like it's broken. I think we're off to a great start, because it does seem very broken here, unless we can get this. There we go. All right. And cars are heading out on track here. So, who do we have out on track to begin? Looks like TTF Desmond and KTF Desmond, both in the Mercedes, first out on track. So, once again, welcome to Div 3 here at Monza. We are in our first race for the third division on a shortened 4-race calendar. And with me today, I have Jack Fletcher here in the commentary booth alongside myself.
How's it going, everyone? Should be a good race today. Should be interesting to see how the drivers are going to be able to really battle the track as well as each other. I know the track limits can be a little bit inconsistent around here. So hopefully it's a good day with first race for Div 3.
Yes, hopefully indeed. Still waiting for someone to start their first flying lap here. Looks like KTF Desmond is going to be giving the tow for his teammate TTF Desmond. Well, doesn't look like anyone else out on track has decided to go for that tactic yet. Let's just get all of our details up here.
It looks like the two Mercedes drivers are setting each other up here.
They might be a little bit too close here. It looks like, yeah, definitely getting that dirty air, and that is TTF Desmond spinning out, and he's got some work cut out for himself to get back out onto the track here.
The AlphaTauri I found just followed him around as well. Seems to be low grip out there in the beginning of this session. Obviously, they got to rubber it in, rubber the track in to get things going.
You hate to see that to begin, because that's just, you waste so much time setting up your lap, and it's all for naught, unfortunately.
Yeah, it's almost over before it started, really.
Yeah, definitely was all for naught there. Back out.
It's going to be interesting to see how in the race, if anybody can get a 1 second lead, see if there's going to be that DRS train of, maybe like 2 to even up to like 6 or 7 cars in the front there, seeing if anybody can get away and break that DRS train today. That's going to be, I think, the toughest thing for the leaders, at least.
Indeed. It does seem like we're having a bit of a issue with the game capture here right now, just having some frame drops, unfortunately. Let's see if we can try and fix that here real quick.
Oh, we got somebody else off. See if I can find that. Seems to be a Red Bull. Oh, I see the stream has gone down. That's okay.
Yeah. Unfortunately, we're having some technical...
First lap, just going straight to the softs. Looks like nobody's really trying the mediums yet other than Firefly. Down in 18th there in the Haas. Following Alex here in the Red Bull, just had a purple sector 1. This should be his first flying lap. So far, Hunte's out in front with a 119.664. So see how long that stands for as the track rubbers in. Going through Parabolica, stays nice and tight with the line there, not going out too much and taking that track limit. A 120.0, so that's going to settle him in just a second. P2 there for now, just ahead of Ian. I'm sure he'll be pleased with that for his first run out.
Okay, hopefully we can get this stream issue sorted here quickly.
There's about 4 or 5 drivers coming back in, get their tires reset, get a brand new set on there, and see if they can.
Second. We should be back live now. Okay, and hopefully the stream is working. A little hard for me to check. Unfortunately, it doesn't like to
I think we're
cooperate
good.
with my single monitor.
No, we're good. I think it's up.
Live now. I believe it
Very
is.
good.
All right. Much better.
So while we were away, Ian just set a pretty quick time there of a 19.1. That's really good under these qualifying conditions. So gonna see if
That is
anybody can really get close to it.
That's an absolute flyer of a lap. That's something you would expect from time trials, more so than you would expect from qualifying conditions. So a huge lap from Ian there. Going to be very hard to take pole away from him. But we do have quite a few.
Looks like he might be going for a second lap here.
Is he still pushing?
He's still pushing.
So trying to improve after setting a fast lap already. Possibly. Is he going to have the fuel for this, or is he going to have to limp all the way back home? It does look like he's taking Parabolica fairly quickly. No, he is going into the pits.
I think the value of the time in qualifying is more valuable than the tire life here, because it's not super hard on tires around this track. So he's probably just trying to get as many runs in as he can. That's probably the strat. Into
the first bend. It's a long, flat-out section, so if you don't take it perfectly, it does hurt you. Looks a lot better through the second chicane. Let's see how he does through the 2 right-handers. Looks quite fine there. And again, rather fine there, if not the fastest line.
I know you could take a little bit of the curving on the inside and the outside of the second Lesmo curve there, so...
He is 1.3 seconds down on his fastest time so far. So he is improving. We'll have to see where this puts him. He could find himself into the top 10 with this lap. It is entirely possible. Could actually end up bouncing his own teammate out of the top 10.
Just going into the pits.
And no, he decides to abort the lap and go straight into the pits. So who do we have out on track right now? We have... Oh, someone is off. Raptor is out. We just caught a little glimpse of a major crash there from Raptor. Unfortunately, just didn't have enough to see, but he is absolutely wrecked out. He was in the air. Let's see if we can get a capture of his car on the side of the track here with Cryptic. And just Stuart's just clearing it away.
We also have WTF out. I'm not sure when he went out. Maybe when our stream was down there, he might have had a problem.
This lap from the looks of it while on board. Who is on a hot lap is Hunte here on a hot lap. Hunte is a Div 2 driver here filling in for Division 3. So he is known to be very quick, especially during qualifying. And now it's just flat out all the way down to the Ascari chicane. There's not much you can do here if you haven't set yourself up right, coming out of the 2 right-handers. Probably could have taken a little bit more curb there. And, oh, got to be careful there. That curb, that...
Out tires. Sometimes you can get away. Ooh, looking like he went a little wide there. Might have to abort the lap.
He's going to finish through, and it looks like that didn't classify as an off-track of qualifying as well. Luckily, also having set a time fastest for 5th overall currently.
Yeah, going through the Ascari there, especially the offs.
So on board with Cryptic as he comes around through the Parabolica, looking to set a fast lap from the looks of it, or he might be coming in. No.
Not sure if he... Oh no, just starting his time now. Let's see if we can follow along with Duncan. He's out on the medium tires, currently in 4th with a 120 flat. Interesting to see if he can improve here.
Didn't look like he had great traction out of the corner there. That's the problem with these medium tires. You're just not able to get the power down quite as well. Second chicane, unfortunately.
He's probably fighting those mediums to get it to do a time trial lap, which is
Even
a little wide
oh,
there.
that definitely a risky moment there. Could have got caught on the gravel and thrown into the wall there. Luckily keeps it together. A little free toe from Cryptic. Don't think Cryptic really intended to do that, but he's given it to him anyways. Yeah, it looks like he's heading into the pits here. Just not a lap. Oh, but Cryptic nearly runs right into the back of Duncan.
Yeah, look like Cryptic at a sign. Just following along with P10 here, Axelized. He's currently up on his time right now. He's on a fresh lap. His tire's got 3 laps on it though, so he's definitely digging into this set.
Could be a bad move, especially when you're P10. P11 right behind you has got fresh tires that they get to use. So risky strategy there. Almost off track. Had to lift a little.
Ready for a last lap approach there, but.
So Undead Fireflies, who we're on board with right now. He's in the Haas on a hot lap, fresh set of soft tires. Looking good so far. Nothing major that you could say he's done wrong that we've seen. And he's coming up to the Scary chicanes now. He's a little bit down on his previous time, so he is improving.
Yeah, it looks really clean through a Scary through there.
Yeah, made sure to miss that last curb that can absolutely end your qualifying session. So good on him there to avoid the mistakes of others. And he comes around Parabolica to set his time. Is he able to improve? He is. He's able to take 10th from Axelized. Something like that. That might actually be a bit of a blessing for Axelized, though, given count for him. So I believe now he's starting a flying lap. So we will watch him along through his lap. Coming up into traffic, though, this could hurt him. He could catch some dirty air, or he could get a slipstream. It's really a roll of the dice whether it's going to hurt you or help you around Monza. But there is another McLaren up the road going slowly. I think he's just letting traffic by. Yes, he is.
Yep.
So good on Joel there to not impede anyone. And who is in front of... So it's Axelized looking, basically giving Snoop Francis a free toe here. That's close enough for a toe.
You think so?
I think that's just close enough to be a bit of a toe.
It's hard to tell, but maybe. That might help him. I see Duncan's just breaking out the 100-meter board.
Oh, Snoop Francis is getting his wheel up on the grass there. Doesn't look to have hurt him. Axelized just diving into the pits at the last moment.
Beaky name.
A little wide there. Yeah.
Second chicane. See if he can get it together through the Lesmo. As you dare, and try not to auto spin off the right curb.
That looked very clean through the first, very clean through the second, very clean through the third. All clean for Duncan Fletcher, and he has been...
Too much.
Probably could have taken a little bit wider, but it's a safer way not to do it, and that puts him P3, so he improves from his previous position. Starting a flying lap soon will be Joel. I don't think he's on one right now, so we'll come back to him later.
I think he aborted because he's 23 seconds down on his lap, so I think he might be done. Just can't go around again.
And once again, the two Mercedes very close to each other. I think they're trying for the toe. Unfortunately, it doesn't look like it's really working out for them. That pace difference might just be a little bit too much for them to work out the toe through an entire lap.
Desmond went for a bit of a spin there.
Oh, and very dangerous. Lucky for the ghosting there.
He does a good job getting out of the way. That was good.
Yeah, it does back up. Yeah, little spinorama there. And it looks like Cryptic comes into the pits, and KTF and TTF will probably do the same. So that looks to be your standing order, with Ian taking pole position, followed by OK, and TTF does decide to lead.
Thank God he's in Div 3, but I want to raise him.
Yeah, that would be a little concerning. I think even that is a very strong time. So we're just going to have to wait for the Mercedes to be put away into its pit box, and then we will be off to the race. So your starting order, from the looks of things so far, will be Ian, followed by Hunte, Duncan, Firefly, Joel, Lagrosse, that's a butchered name, Cryptic, Alex, and Raptor still making the top 10 with having DNF'd, crashed out, and I missed the last of the top 10, unfortunately.
They're gonna have probably a few sets of softs as well. I'm sure they
They
DNF'd in the early bits of qualifying there, so they're gonna have some extra tires. Maybe if there's a few safety cars, we'll see how that all pans out.
I spy Gecko being the only person to make it into the top 10 on those medium tires, so he will be starting on medium tires in the top 10.
You know, that could work.
So-
I'm not sure what the tire life is for the softs, but if it's anything like F1 2020, you can go a long way on those. So a lot of the times people would start on mediums just to get them off pretty much as soon as they could to run the rest of the race on the softs. So it'll be
Yeah,
interesting to see how
interesting
the strategies work. Yeah.
And just remember, everyone, this is a 50% race, so unlikely to see the hard tires, but if there is a lap 1 incident, it is entirely possible that it does come out.
You think it'd
if
be
someone
a
ends up-
one stop, or do you think they have to do two?
If you'd probably get away with a 1 stop here. I don't think there's any real way that you're going to do a 2 stop and make that work here, unless we have some safety cars. Which then obviously safety cars can break everything. So if we have some safety cars, we could definitely see some 2 stops. And with the Ascari chicane, it's not unlikely to see some 2 stops. And here we are going for our formation lap here, on following along with Ian, our pole sitter, warming up those tires. It's really important for, especially when you're up at the front of the grid, to warm up those tires. You're sitting there for a long time waiting for the rest of the grid to form up. So you want to get those tires as warm as possible, but you also don't want to wear them out too much on the formation lap. And Revis and TTF and the 14 through 18 all ending up disqualified from the formation lap, so they will be starting on the grid with cold tires.
That's unfortunate. I see. They must have got together there in the through the chicane.
Yeah, unfortunately, don't know what happened there, but likely someone spun and ended up collecting some other people, so very unfortunate to start there. Would not be surprised if we saw some protests for that after this race.
It's many ideas, but that's going to be crucial though going into turn 1, because that is probably, I would argue, one of the toughest corners on the circuit is the first chicane. So you definitely need the tire temp there as well. It's going to be interesting.
Now, I'll just remind everyone at home: don't forget to hydrate and have some water with you as well, as I do so myself. So Ian coming around Parabolica, ready to form up on the grid. 5 drivers already sitting on the grid, ready and waiting for them, due to something happening. This is devastating to whoever's on those medium tires. I think that's TTF. Those medium tires are going to be even colder. That's terrible.
Yeah, this is going to be a very interesting turn 1, that's for sure.
So WTF in P20 forming up the back of the grid as we wait for the red lights. And we'll go on board with Ian here. And we have 5 red lights. And away we go here in Monza. And it's a great start from Hunte, getting past Ian here. An absolute flyer. Hunte's well away, securing a win. And Ian almost spinning into turn 1. Not sure what happened to him there. Someone's going wide. That looks like Joel. We have chaos in the back. Someone's gone off track. That's Lagosa, causing absolute carnage. But it looks like everyone's able to avoid it. could have gone a lot worse than it did.
I just flipped through the back, the few people in the back there. It looked like there was a couple little mistakes here and there, but looked pretty clean.
Oh, and someone's
considering the
run into
difficulty.
someone's lost a front wing here. There's debris all over the track in the second chicane. Not sure who did. It looks like Flossin is off track, and so is Duncan. I think Duncan's lost his front wing here. I don't think Duncan has a front wing.
I also
And
saw
there's chaos.
TTF Desmond get spun around, so he's currently backwards in the Lesmo curve. So
Yeah, Duncan is missing his front wing here. And
I believe that's Revis as well, who's spun around. So he's not sure how his damage is. So it's going to be interesting to see how many people unfortunately got damaged through those first set of corners there.
Sorry there. Apologies. And we have a virtual safety car, likely due to just all of the carnage on track, the debris everywhere. Duncan receiving a 5-second time penalty for speeding in the pit lane. So, very unfortunate there.
I think I'm
Not
having a
what
bit
you
of
like
a
to see.
glitch myself here.
Yeah, the timing screen is broken. Welcome to F1
Yeah.
2021, everyone. I hope you enjoy your stay. But as I believe right now, Hunte is P1, followed by Ian. After that amazing start by Hunte, absolute flyer off the line there. And then we have, I believe, Alexized getting up into P3, followed by what looks to be Snoop Francis. If that is your top 4, and Cryptic being your 5th place, rounding that out. And Alexized has crashed out under the safety car, going through the Ascari chicane. Yes.
Really?
He's crashed out.
Yeah,
he's
out.
put it in the wall.
Yeah, it looks like he's lost his front right wheel there.
And it looks like we have some issues with the flags there, as we see KTF Desmond pass. Well, the marshal was waving a yellow flag, and the FIA board is showing green flags. So that's
It's a
2.
Haas.
That is the Haas of Raptor crashing out at the Ascari chicane. So we are down 3 races.
A little bit of a gap going here.
Definitely does seem like Hunte does have a bit of the advantage on the pace so far. Ian does have that 1 lap pace, but from what we've seen in the race so far, Hunte's definitely had that little bit of an edge. We're on board with iFound right now, as he is
WTF.
under attack from WTF, having moved up from P20 on the grid.
I reckon he'll get a move done on the straight here after Parabolica.
I don't believe... Are we on lap 4? I guess we are on lap 4 after that virtual safety car. So DRS should be enabled, if not this lap, then the next. And that is iFound going wide on Parabolica there. And it looks like WTF has got the move done.
And he's got DRS. He's going to be able to dump some ERS and pull away a little bit, hopefully.
So, unfortunate for iFound, that medium tire still a little bit slower than the soft tires early on in the race. And Joel setting the fastest lap of the race so far.
Yeah, I believe we're back to the leaderboard's fixed itself now. So I think it's going to be a little bit easier to follow along what these guys are doing.
So Ian, about 1 second behind Hunte up at the front. So he may have DRS going into the turn 1. So we'll follow on board here. 7/10 down. We do have a yellow flag up in Sector 1. It looks like Flossin has gone off. We'll keep an eye on that and see if that may result in a safety car, but doesn't look like it. So it looks like Ian may have a run on Hunte here with DRS assistance. And I don't believe he's put on overtake, so it doesn't look like he's going to try the move maybe this corner. He'll probably wait for the next chicane if he's going to go for it on this lap. But I don't think
Hunte
he's
going
quite
a little
close
wide
enough.
there.
Oh no, way much better exit. He just gained 3/10 in just one corner there.
Yeah, Hunte dipped his right wheels into the gravel there, so It's so easy to lose so much time off of such a small mistake, especially through these first two chicanes.
We have 2 Italian. So once again, Hunte just following along, Ian following along Hunte, trying to find that moment, that right time to attack. 3 tenths down, 4 tenths down. That timing board's all over the place. So just one of them's faster through one corner and the other's faster through the other. It's really give and take here.
Well, it's hard to say what Ian's going through, especially with the dirty air. So he might want to think about just getting past Hunte here as soon as he can. Yeah, he's on his battery. He's dumping ERS a little bit. Not too much though.
Looking
Just to be
to
safe.
maybe just conserve it. Let's go take a look at Hunte here. Hunte's been dumping battery. Hunte's down to 20% here. So Ian may be playing just the strategic game, trying to drain Hunte's battery and then have that battery advantage, because he's just waiting for that red light on the back of Hunte's car to start flashing. And that's how you know someone's low on battery. When that red light starts going blink, 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 you know it's time to attack.
To be able to tell too, especially going through having DRS, as we have a yellow flag through sector 3 there. Looks like,
and that's Undead Firefly, another victim of the Ascari chicane, and we have a full safety car deployed on the exit there, and caught the bottom of his car, unfortunately.
Absolutely.
So
like
we could be seeing some activity in the pit lane here, and we have, who is it in the pit lane? We have the 2 Red Bulls double stacking in the pit lanes right now.
Yep, Duncan having to wait there.
Duncan getting off of those hard tires. Doesn't like the hard tires, so he's and he's serving a penalty under the safety car as well. So that might be the reason for his pit stop.
Well, I think he thought maybe
tires.
he threw the hards on to the end, thinking maybe it would go green to the end. But now that I think you could definitely stretch 20 laps probably on the mediums.
Alex getting really lucky here, being released back out before the race leader, so he's going to be able to unlap himself behind the safety car to keep himself unlapped. And it looks like our race leaders are also into the pits here. So no change in the race lead. It's still Hunte, still Ian. KTF Desmond, having not pitted, is now in 3rd place.
He was already on those mediums, so he probably just took quite a lot of positions.
Interesting move from Sargento not to pit on those.
KTF just jumped from P7 to where he's at now, P3. So that was probably a good move by him. That was a very good strategy call, because track position's big here as well.
It is, and on those medium tires, maybe you can make it work. That said, he's been on those medium tires since the start of the race. You have to think they're not going to allow. He has to make a pit stop at some point. He does have to use a second compound, so he still will have to pit. Whereas everyone else around him, aside from the 3 behind, fresh hards. So interesting moves from the AlphaTauri team there.
Yeah, well, still a little bit in the unknown how far these tires can go. I don't know what experience you have, Gabe, with the tires, but definitely could get some ideas for the races in the future to see how long these guys are going to be able to extend this medium tire. They can really get it to 20 laps or 19 laps.
Second time penalty. Dominman, 5 seconds. Rivas, 3 seconds. And those are your current penalties standing. As for stops, everyone aside from KTF and Sargento and WTF have stopped. Some, P12 through P16, have stopped twice. So like for them, actually, to be able to claw themselves back into this race.
Yeah, that virtual safety car with the confusion as first Haas DNF'd through Ascari definitely spread out the field quite a lot. So it's going to be nice to see them all bunched up again.
And here are your position changes. Hunte up 1 position, Ian losing that 1 position. A real representation of where they are on in the race. The biggest was P3.
He had that spin in the beginning, and then went straight back onto the hards. And I don't know, that virtual safety car seemed a little bit strange how the pack was still so spread out after.
1 more lap behind the safety car here.
See, what they should do in F1 is, like, I mean, especially I guess in the games, it's a bit different. But like in NASCAR, they turn the lights out on the last lap, so then you know safety car in
Yeah,
this lap.
unfortunately, we only know going into the third sector. So you have to wait all lap long to find out if the safety car is going to go in this lap.
Yeah, that is frustrating because you're like work your tires all lap, and then you're like, oh, we're not even gonna go.
Yeah, it's just all that tire wear for nothing. So it's all going to be on Hunte as to how to manage the restart. If you're Hunte here, what's your game plan? Are you going to back up the pack as much as you can, try and get a start early and surprise everyone, or are you going to wait until the last second to accelerate away? What would your game plan be if you're Hunte here?
It's a tough call. I'm not too familiar with how you can race the safety car and how to start. Conte's best bet here is to, if Ian gets a good run, just let him go and just try to follow him, and hopefully DRS pops up before he gets out of that 1 second range, and he can follow Ian and wait for him to make a mistake. Because I think Ian is very fast here.
So we do have confirmation. Safety car is in this lap, so Hunte will be leading us away. For Hunte, you have to think he's gotten a free get out of jail. He's gotten a get out of jail free card here. His battery's been fully recharged, and so he effectively got away with using his entire battery for free. He didn't end up getting punished for that. So you have to think he can't do that again. If he does, getting a timing penalty there. And Hunte starts us off early with Ian a little bit of ways away, so he did get a decent start, 3/10 ahead, so he's probably going to maintain his lead heading into turn 1. And we're just watching
he's gonna go for the
any
move.
carnage here.
See, Stu Francis sneak a position off of
and
WTF, and WTF is almost spinning. We also do have somebody backwards through the first chicane there.
Looks like aside from I think that is Revis. Revis is spun around, unfortunately. And KTF. Really bad for KTF, having not pitted, and now he's at the back of the field. And that's Cryptic and Snoop Francis going too wide through the chicane. 2 doesn't really go into 1. Snoop Francis losing out big time there, and also losing out to LaGrosse as well. So he's lost 2 positions in 2 corners. Absolute scenes for Snoop Francis. And 2 off. 2 cars off. That looked like, I believe, WTF and Alex going off. Very unfortunate for them. Losing out so early into the restart. Likely not having the temperature in their tires to really get things going here. And that's someone
can make it a
way
move
off.
on the Ferrari. And the Ferrari might be... Well, it looks like he damaged his front left wing a little bit. Looked like Duncan went to make a move on him. And going too wide through Ascari is pretty
again,
ballsy.
2 into 1 doesn't work. And we have Sargento now up 16 places on those old 10-lap-old soft tires. They must be absolutely...
The inside, he's going to have the outside line. Doesn't look like he's going to be able to get his nose ahead there.
No, unfortunately not. Oh, it looks like they made a little bit of contact there. It doesn't look like Sargento has the tires to keep it going. He really needs to pit. He's honestly looking like a bit of a danger out there, just the way he can't keep it on track at this point. And yet, he's out and around again, and almost unsafely rejoining there.
We'll let the stewards figure that one out, but seems Ian's starting to get a little close on Hunte. Hunte making a mistake
looks like a bad move for Hunte.
Hunte got super sideways through Ascari, made a really good save.
That dirty air really hurts you when you're going around Parabolica. Doesn't have DRS for this lap. Unfortunately, will have it for next lap. Heading into turn 1, just not quite alongside enough to make the move stick. And he, just a little bit deep into the corner there. Not sure what Revis is doing.
He's having a bit of a problem there.
Yeah, doesn't look like he can find his brake pedal today, so very unfortunate for him. Absolute scenes down at Aston Martin. Dream, not getting enough aero braking, cost him quite a bit going into turn 1. He's now down 1.1 seconds again.
Hard to tell if he's just biding his time and letting the race kind of run itself out. You have an off there. Looks like AlphaTauri.
Indeed, it does look like the AlphaTauri fight for the lead currently. And that looks like Duncan getting by I Spy Gecko. And maybe I Spy Gecko going to try and make the move back. I think
That's okay. He tucked back in. That was very good. It's just looked like he had a little look and kind of thought, maybe not, a little too early.
would be very unfortunate to break a second wing in the race already. That Alfa Romeo looks probably to be the widest car in the world for Duncan right now. Just can't find a way past it from the looks of it. He's looking every which way, just desperate to find some gap to send his car through, but just can't find it right now.
Ian,
maybe just trying to make the pass with DRS. Maybe not interested in trying to use his ERS to make the pass.
Whoa, Duncan and Grossi just went into the pits, and Duncan looked like he was gonna.
Very unfortunate.
Yeah, he looked like he was drafting Grossi there, and then just totally, I don't know, just backed out of it last minute. Didn't want to go in the pits.
Might have just been looking. So Duncan 7 tenths behind I Spy. Ian 3 tenths behind Hunte going into Ascari, where he's tended to be a fair bit quicker, but that dirty air looking to affect him maybe just a bit too much this time. A little too close going into the corner, loses a little bit of time there. And I Spy Gecko getting a 3-second penalty for track limit violations. As we are on board with Ian.
Joel might be looking to have a look here on Cryptid. Both the McLaren drivers having a great race so far, 4th and 5th.
A solid race from them. And Joel definitely gaining, but not a lot of ERS left in that. He tapped out. And I'd rather be the guy behind with DRS who's got no battery than the guy in front who doesn't have DRS with no battery.
Absolutely. It's like playing a...
That's 3-4 positions down. Just overcooking it, and he cooks it again. Those rear tires just absolutely
so easy to do.
Burning hot, thankfully. And we're back on board with Ian here. 4 tenths behind Hunte, trying to find that better line through Parabolica. Maybe this is a lap. He's dumping the battery a little bit, just getting that better exit than Hunte.
Still with the lower battery, 30%.
And Ian's making the move this lap. He's dumped more battery. He's going to send it. He's going for the move.
So I believe we have Rivas backwards.
And just not quite enough. Unfortunately, Hunte keeps ahead after the first corner. But great racing from the two of them so far.
Yeah, Hunte's definitely made that car wide as possible for Ian there. I think this is going to be a really good race in the final laps.
These two have just been at each other's throats all race long. And I found is put it into the wall at the Ascari chicane. Another victim of the Ascari chicane, and we have another full safety car. Let's see who heads into the pits here. Lagrossi, not into the pits. Dominman, will he head into the pits? He's on these hard tires. He's probably...
I mean, it's hard to say, but I think we might see the front runners here dive in for some softs, because I believe they'd be able to make it to the end of the race quite easily,
would be,
even a scrub set.
It might be taking it a bit far.
Compounds that go on.
And are we going to have the McLarens head into the pits? Joel is heading into the pits. This might be bad news for Snoop Francis as he slows down to try and avoid getting slowed up by the double stack.
A softs on.
I think the softs, it might be a little too soon for the soft, but it also does depend how long the safety car is. If it's, the full 3 laps, you only have 7 laps left. Yeah, those softs might be the move. So could be a big play here by Hunte to end up winning this race. But both of the McLarens also going onto the medium, so it seems like most of the grid thinks some medium tires are the way to go.
Very interesting here, actually. We got the 2nd through 8th on the mediums. And everyone
all
else
the way down to Cryptic. Cryptic and Hunte, the only 2 in the top 10 running on soft tires. So we will have to see how this works out for them here. And we'll follow Ian along as we are behind the safety car. We have WTF in the pits right now. Just getting soft tires. So he's putting those soft tires on. Revis not going into the pits here. He's got relatively fresh mediums on.
If you
So
don't
that will
mind here,
likely be
Gabe,
the last
guys,
of your
I'm
pit
just gonna take
stops. Oh, and we have a collision behind the
break here.
safety car.
Oh, goodness. Bad
We
time to take a
have
break.
KTF Desmond losing his front wing after it looks like he got into a collision with Flossen. Very
Well,
unfortunate.
that's an
He's going to have to pit.
instant 5-second penalty, right?
I believe he did receive a 5-second penalty for that. Yes, he did.
Yeah. Unlucky
So
there.
he's probably going to have to go and pit as well, get a new front wing. So we'll see if he's able to serve that under the safety car. Lucky if he is, unlucky if he isn't. Don't forget to hydrate, everyone. So, looks like most likely safety car will be in, I believe, next lap, not this lap. I could be wrong, though. And this is KTF heading into the pits after his incident behind the safety car. You hate to have this moment. You got to change your front wing, you got to serve a penalty, you got to change your tires. Everything's gone wrong for you here. Nothing is going your way when you have this kind of stop. Lucky for him, though, that he does get a fresh set of softs, and he doesn't have that penalty for the end of the race, so he's free to race and see what he can make of the rest of this one. So, hopefully, no more collisions behind the safety car. And then I say that, and we get a collision by the safety car. Who was that? Sargento getting a collision. It looks like his front wing is okay. Commentator's curse is really, really real. So I won't say it again. We'll just leave it at that. Let's not see that anymore. Because we've got a lot of time penalties on the board here. I Spy Gecko with a drive-through penalty. Absolutely devastating to his race. That is his race effectively over, and he's off onto the grass here as well. Just things are not going his way right now, unfortunately. He's got that drive-through penalty, which he will have to serve at the end of the safety car. He won't be able to go in while the safety car is out, unfortunately, to serve his drive-through penalty. So that is going to be a full 20 plus seconds that he's going to have to be in that pit lane for. It's one of the most drive-through penalty, and Ian right behind Hunte. Hunte not getting the best start. Ian's going to try and make the move, and no, he thinks better of it. Just decides to back out of the move there. And a little bit of carnage in the back from the looks of it. Just a little slow through there, possibly some incidents. Doesn't look like it, though. Looks like everyone's able to make it through just all right, as Duncan is trying to find his way past Snoop right now, but just isn't quite able to do it.
Snoop
but
going
Snoop's
wide
very
there.
slow
Duncan's
to
gonna
that
try
corner.
and go. He's diving to the
made-
inside, gonna try and quickly too. Hunte seems to be absolutely rocketing away from Ian right now. I don't know if Ian made a mistake or something, but maybe it's those soft tires really.
Yeah, I think it's just
Showing off.
those soft tires are just so much fast. So he's going to have to defend without DRS. He's going to have to stop thinking about winning this race and start thinking about defending his P2.
Yeah, just following along with the Ferrari here of Flossen. He's stopped the end of Scurry here. I'm not really sure what's going on. Maybe he's got some connection issues or something. He's got going again.
Yeah, back underway there. Joel off the track getting a time penalty for that 3-second time penalty. Not sure what happened there. Duncan probably going to try and make the best of that. Maybe look for a move on Joel going into this next chicane. Too far back this time around. But depends on the exit. We saw what happened to Snoop, his teammate. Is he able to replicate it? No, he's not. Great recovery race here from his lap 1 incident. Now back up into P4, having qualified P3 and been effectively last after the first lap. Although now, as we commentate on him, he gets a 3-second time penalty. Front here, we have Flossen in the pits and LaGrosse very far behind, looking probably going to get lapped here soon. And we're on board with Duncan still. As he's just trying.
Yeah, Aston Martin maybe thinking better of it. Yeah, so
Those soft tires
about-
definitely working out for WTF because he was down near last place and he's back up into the points now. Oh, Duncan getting a little bit airborne going through the second chicane. Unfortunately, lost him a fair bit of time there. He's going to have to make it up if he wants to stay within DRS range going into this next lap. So we will go on board with WTF here, following Domin Man? Some of these names are a little hard to say. And definitely a lot faster into that corner, but losing time, having to kind of avoid Domin Man's slow line through the corner there. Probably going to be trying to make the move after the Parabolica. He does miss the first curb. Not the fastest line you've ever seen through the way to lap or two is Cryptic. He's only 0.4 behind Snoop Francis and gaining.
Yep.
Looking, thinks better of it. Gets
through
better through the curbs. And better exit, better traction. He's putting that ERS down. He's going to try and make the move. He's in the wall. Snoop Francis in the wall after that. And in a Marshall as well. Very, very unfortunate for Snoop Francis coming off second worst there. Second best. And
really
Domin Man also is the only person out on the hard tire. And he's just not able to make it work, and it's cost him dearly.
I was going to butt in here. Ian somehow ahead of Hunte all of a sudden. I'm just looking at this.
I'm not sure what happened there, but we very much missed that. Yes, indeed. Hunte did
totally
lose position to Ian.
When did that happen?
I don't know. They're just really driving into the back of Ian under the safety car there. That was not what you want to see at all. So a few in the pits. Duncan and Cryptic, both in the pits, probably had damage. That's really unfortunate for Duncan. He had a P7, so he's got some work to do. That said, everyone in front of him is on older tires, so he might just be able to do it.
Just going looking back at the running screen, just straight up warped in front of him. I'm not sure what went on there. But that's classic F1 2024 or 2021 for you.
But it's been a solid race between our two front runners so far, and between some of the midfield drivers as well.
Yeah, we got Duncan leading the way for the brand new soft runners here, Cryptid as well as I Spy. So it's going to be interesting to see them peel through the field here, especially as everyone's on ahead of them is all equal on 5-lap tires.
Really unfortunate for Snoop Francis there, coming off second best, going too wide into the chicane. I mean, too wide into a chicane.
Yeah.
Really unfortunate. And not on the freshest tires either, so likely won't be able to make up much time. I think he's going to have to pit. I think he does have damage, so he may need to pit.
I thought he lost his front wing.
Yeah, I did too, but I'm not sure what happened there. Going very slowly, though.
I mean, you might as well just throw it in there and put on a set of scrub softs,
he
right?
doesn't pit, so interesting. Elects not to pit, so he's going to stick out with those tires to the end of the race. So, Hunte, 6-lap-old softs versus 6-lap-old mediums. Who has the advantage here, do you think? Who has the better tires right now?
I think Hunte does, because technically Ian probably wanted to see this go green the rest of the way. I mean, based on what my knowledge, I'm not super sure on how long the softs can run. If anything, this just helps Hunte, because he's just cooling his tires down, extending those softs, the 6-lap-old softs. He's probably going to be in way better shape, I would think, than the people around him, like Alex and Joel and Ian. So I think we're in for a really good last couple laps here.
You have to think, those mediums, those are hard to warm up behind the safety car. Those soft tires are a lot easier. You could just straight up spin, pushing too hard with cold tires.
Yep, absolutely. I mean, there's a sweet spot when the mediums begin to kind of overtake the softs in terms of pace throughout a stint. But I don't think we're going to see it based on these few laps on safety car. So I
I think the
Hunte
safety
honestly
car will
might
be
be
in
in the.
this lap. So
Yeah, I think
once we do one
Hunte's.
more lap around.
I think Hunte's in the mayor's office. To be honest, I think he's got this figured out.
Covered in penalties. We'll go through those quickly. Joel with 3 seconds, Sargento 5 seconds, Duncan 3 seconds, I Spy Gecko 3 seconds, LaGrosse 3 seconds, KTF 3 seconds, Flosson 3 seconds, and Rivas has 6 seconds of time penalties. So more of the drivers on the grid have time penalties than don't at this point.
Yeah, it's so easy to do around here, though. I mean, there's like the track limits around here. I think it's probably one of the more consistent tracks we've gone to. That's not saying much though, in terms of track limits, but it's very easy to just want to push, especially to, for instance, like the Lesmo curves. Like you should be able to just go out wide there, but the game just refuses to let you use that curbing out there. So
It can be difficult sometimes. You're looking for that for every thousandths of a second, really. And we are confirmed safety car in the slap. So Ian this time getting to control the restart. And we will go on board with Alex for this restart here to watch Hunte and Ian battle it out at the start. Ian not really electing to hold up the pack too much. So he's keeping relatively close to the safety car, maybe slowing down very close to Ian. Still pretty close to the safety car, not too close. So Ian almost a little off track there. And away we go. And Hunte and Alex tries to send it down. Hunte's outside, nearly gets overtaken by Joel though.
Hunte's alongside, I believe. Yep, he's going around the outside of Ian right now and dumping full ERS. They are wheel to wheel right now. They're dead even going into this second chicane.
They're going to be side by side going into the chicane here. And Ian just holds barely ahead. Wheel to wheel racing right here. This
Maybe
is
a little
what you
love
want to
tap
see.
there, but nothing, no harm, no foul there. That's just racing. So we got an AlphaTauri spinning through the back there. I think Rivas as well.
Very unfortunate for those two.
Quite the scrap. Ian just trying everything to keep that soft tires with Hunte
Ian
behind.
dumping ERS. Hunte, they're both really using about the same amount of ERS. Ian just staying a little bit ahead still. And a little bit of a tap there. Doesn't look like Hunte has any damage for it though, so lucky for him. And again, very, very close behind with them going, looks like going to do too wide through Parabolica.
Hunte thinking about
Hunte's
the
got that
switchback,
tire
maybe.
Advantage.
He's going to be dumping. He's deployed everything he's
Ian's
got this lap. He's going to have to
everything he
wait.
can.
They are side by side coming in the first.
And Hunte's out on the gravel. Hunte's lost out. Joel's gotten the place. Joel's gotten the place. Hunte comes out second best, third best, really, in this situation. And now Joel's going to look for the move past Ian. Joel's going for the surprise win here on the last lap.
Joel's got a time penalty, so I'm not sure he's going to be.
For Hunte's race here. It's really over for Hunte, and it looks like Ian's got the win, barring any unfortunate situations, as Hunte just can't find a way past Joel, and he's too far behind, and it's going to be with one last final corner. Looks like, I won't say anything yet, I don't want to do that to him. A maiden win for Division 3 for Ian, followed by Hunte, followed by Cryptic, followed by Joel. Joel being P2 on track, but P4 after the time penalties. A huge win for Hunte. For Ian, after taking it from Hunte on the last lap. Absolute
I might have
scenes.
been seeing stuff, but I think there was a few surprise DNFs there actually at the end. Not sure if that was a timing screen or if that's what actually happened.
But here is your race winner. Ian wins the first Division 3 race here in Monza, followed by Hunte, followed by Cryptic.
That was an awesome race from the front two there. That was great.
A great race at the end there. Unfortunate for Hunte to have had a Cryptic, Joel, Alex, WTF, LaGrosse, Flosson, KTF, Sargento round out your top 10. And
I mean, it's the same for you. I'm looking. I think Duncan might have actually not finished the race. I'm not sure. We were so focused on the front too. I have no idea what happened to him. And I believe another person as well. I think I Spy Gecko didn't finish. Revis didn't finish. Or if they were already just a couple laps down, I'm not sure.
not sure what happened there. But anyways, that is your race, your Div 3 Round 1 race. Thank you for joining us. And we hope you'll be with us for the next one. For Gabriel DeVries and Jack Fletcher, thank you for